Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we're back with another exciting episode of Victoria 2, Heart of Darkness, some sort of pop mod, Italy. Now, we got quite a list of things to do. First and foremost, we need to start influencing Parma, because obviously we need them in our sphere of influence. I kind of wish it automatically happened with satellites, but, you know, you can't have everything. So we'll just have to get Parma up in all of our grills. We've got... What do we got? We got some expansion we could do into Africa. Looking at Galedi here, however you pronounce it, wherever, you know, Somalia, Mogadishu, those places, we're going to need a basically a spot in the eastern side of Africa to, you know, continue our push ever eastward. We could also go and take a look at, you know, maybe getting Sokoto under our grasp, as at least a path up to, you know, the stuff around Lake Chad, or Chad, or however you pronounce that, around this lake, because we can colonize around the lake, apparently. I have it on good authority. Kikara, if you are lying to me, my word, things will not go well there. What else do we need? We need a supply of opium. And, you know, the easiest route for that would be potentially someplace like Yemen. Of course, we'd want to take a look and see what their positioning is with the United Kingdom. Make sure that they're not, you know, friendly or anything like that. Because the last thing we need is the UK coming in and saying, like, no, you can't expand. But Yemen or Oman, and I mean, potentially going after Zanzibar with Oman is a possibility. So we got a lot to do here, guys. I guess with our military forces where they are and the transports going to be taking forever to repair themselves, obviously we need to get this naval base finished, and that's going to be at least another year and a half. We could start looking at justifying a claim against Sokoto. They've got really no allies that are going to be a concern, and with our main army here, we should be able to storm through and snag some of these lands for us. What would we want? I guess we would want Tukari? Although we don't really... Yeah, I mean, I guess Tukari would definitely be what we'd be looking to grab. We'd also have to get Sokot Biafra, because we're not going to be able to colonize Bamenda for quite a while. We should double check just to make sure. We're going to need ideological thought, which we've got, breech-loaded rifles, and nationalism and imperialism to get all the ideas set for that. So, you know, that's going to be something we're going to have to remember to do. There's a lot to remember to do, which concerns me, because I'm not a very memorable person, or at least not good at remembering things to do. As is obvious by having to go into Parma. I remembered that we would have to do that, and then I just completely plumb forgot that we would have to do it. Or I plumb forgot to do it. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Let's get this sucker up to speed 3, and sort of figure out what's going to be our next step. I guess is really the thing we need to do. I gotta say, getting these guys colonized, to use, you know, sort of incorrect parlance, would be a good idea. Looks like we've lost our chance on Zosa. Unsurprisingly, Great Britain went after it right away. Can't say I really blame them. And then, of course, there's also Tunis, with some iron and some wheat and some sheep. And, you know, it's a possibility. I just don't know what we'd get. I guess we'd get population, wouldn't we? Drunken riots. A police raid against a nice bar tonight has provoked a massive public backlash against police and other authorities. We should not be raiding nice bars. We should be raiding the sketchy ones. So, yeah, I mean, we would gain quite a lot of population if we took Tunis. The problem is, obviously, with our fleet kicking here, waiting to repair, it's going to be a while before we could actually get anybody into Tunis. We could build some more clippers, but I'm not interested in building any more clippers. I'm interested in getting steamers up which is proving to be a bit of an issue. Because there's not too many places building steamers, I would imagine. So we really might not have a choice. Regardless. I can already feel that this episode is just going to be me talking about what we should be doing while time ticks away. Not exactly a good way to cement our place in the world as a great power. So perhaps we should go the easy route, the safe route, and decrease relations with Sokoto, and just start hacking them down a little bit. Making sure they realize that, you know, they're Italian masters. What a horrible way to look at it. But that's, you know, kind of how we are looking at it. At least that's how I'm looking at it. Secularization, plurality increased by 2%, and consciousness and non-colonial by 0.01. We took care of all the scary liberation movements, i.e. Haiti. Well, I'm here, actually. Let's just check, see what my people want. Residency, followed by moralism and jingoism. And anti-military, which is weird, but hey, you know what? You can't please everybody all the time. So we're not even going to bother trying. Ah, delicious H2O, yeah. Yeah, so we've got Sokoto. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Getting a justification on Sokoto. Demand concessions for hardly any. Yep, hardly any infamy, but it looks like we took pretty much the brunt of it. Now, what is this? That is coal. That would probably be good to get. So I think with our first war, we'll just have to take Sukot Biafra. And then we'll see if we can add another war goal and grab two things. Birth rate high. Excellent. Because if we could grab Tukari as well as Sokot Biafra, I guess really we're looking at increasing our ownership of Biafra, which shouldn't be that difficult. Good enough justification for war to start with. And then we can grab Tukari after and potentially even start colonizing some African lands well before any other European power can. In the meantime, let's make sure we've got no competition in Egypt, and it doesn't look like we do. It looks like the French might be trying to get involved, but they're hostile. No, we're such a new great power, nobody's really hostile towards us yet. So that's good. Friendly with France, but that hasn't changed since we started pumping up our diplomacy. So that's good. Let's take a look what exactly it is that we need here. We're going to need breech-loading rifles and nationalism and imperialism. Nationalism and imperialism is still a ways away. Breech-loaded rifles we could grab right away, so let's do that. Shouldn't take us too much time. And will actually help our military. Now, one thing I did want to do is change this general out, because we should have, you know, an option of quite a few good generals. And I'm looking at Umberto Porro here. Plus 0.3 on attack, 24.1% increase in morale. Just a little drop in experience, but we get some reliability and organization as well. Umberto, welcome to the wonderful life of colonial conquest. I hope you fit in. I'm sure you will. And so I guess we're just really kind of waiting for... that's not the screen I need. That's the screen. We're just waiting for this to get up there. It shouldn't take too much longer. Another thing that I want to do, just check my relationship with great powers. France still likes us, so we'll increase relations with them back up to 200. And Prussia, they're not really big fans of us, but I'm going to start buttering them up because I think what would be a good idea, despite Austria being kind of fans of us, is to use one of our national focuses to increase tensions in either Lombardia or Venice or Venetia. One of the two. And I'm thinking Lombardia would be a good first pick. I got quite a lot in the way of population, that's for sure. So if we could get France and Prussia in on our side to beat up on Austria, that would be a-okay. It looks like they are allied with the Netherlands, but you know, we don't really need to worry about the Netherlands. Although they certainly could kick our ass militarily. But that could be said about every single great power that's out there. Which is why we really want France on our side, and Prussia as well. I mean, Prussia should want to go to war with Austria. Anyway, we've got our chance now to start a war. And we want Sokot Biafra. Maybe and likely, we're not going to bother. We won't need our allies. We can do this on our own. We should be able to conquer these lands pretty quickly, too. Looks like we got a Rotherham plow, increasing grain production. And that's good news for our bakeries. I don't know if we're actually producing grain anywhere, so, you know, it might not be good news for the farmers. And Tukari here is looking like a pretty decent place to snag some population. As you can see, we're conquering things quite quickly. Obviously, this army is going to go in to my land and see if they can't do some damage to me. At least that's what they're going to try and do. Yeah, that's what we thought. I guess it doesn't make much sense to fight them there, so we'll just continue. What have we got here? Military access from Oro. Like, I don't get this. They... Who are you? Aro. Aro. They're not allied with us, but they decided, hey, now would be a good time to attack Sokoto as well. Honestly, can't say that I blame them. Are you guys on the move? No, you're just going to sit there. You're just going to sit there in unclaimed territory taking damage. That's okay. I'll let you do it. I am concerned at the size of their military. Obviously, we've got 30,000 troops. We're on par. We shouldn't have much of a problem, you know, slaughtering their military. But, you know, if they keep throwing troops at us, eventually there's going to be a chance that, oh, that is one other thing that I needed to do. Where is my message settings? Is it... menus? You know what? Yeah, I'm just going to pause the recording right now while I figure out how to get my message settings set up properly so you guys don't have to see me fiddling around with the interface. Alright, I think I got it. Time will tell. But I think we should be properly informed now. And for those wondering, just go to the message settings button in the escape menu. That would be the easiest way to get a hold of it. Whoa! This is not what I had wanted. Crap. We got no military at home. We got no way to get a military at home. And as tempting as it is, I mean, there's really not much we can do. We got no allies, right? Let's just check this. Cordial, friendly. Allied with Modena and Tuscany. We'll see if these guys come along. We will give them military access. Modena and Tuscany. And we will see if we can use their troops to fight off the rebels. It'd be nice if you guys could help out, because we're not going to be able to make it home. Maybe the rebellion will just die out quickly. I don't really know. You stop there so I can slaughter you. And while I'm doing this, can I add a war goal? Great powers. No. I want to go to Sokoto. I want to add a war goal. And I want to demand a concession of Tukari. 16 war score, proceed. So I think we only need 19 war score to grab these 2 chunks of land. Which isn't bad. It shouldn't take a lot to get there. really, if we occupy those territories. And honestly, I'm just concerned about Arroyo, or Aro here, bumping into land that, you know, should be mine. But I think we'll be okay. We should be able to work our way around it quite nicely. Upper house has been reorganized. And I'm amazed that this Sokoto army hasn't moved into Calabar. It's pretty clear we're well far away. So I don't know why they haven't moved in. But they haven't. So I appreciate that. And there's a very good chance Massive Sokoto here is going to wind up getting split between Oyo, Aro, and myself. So, you know, there's a potential then that we could diplomatically sort of include Oyo and Aro in our little sphere of influence. Although it looks like they may have made peace quite quickly. I'm not sure what would drive the AI to do that. Also, I'm not sure why that didn't pop up, but I guess I've got some more adjusting of my... Is Egypt considered European? Well, we'll just go all and sort. Egypt would not be considered European, you idiot. Let's increase opinion. Perfect. Egalitarianism, which is a good thing. Almost done here. Destitution and poverty. We could close down the bars to gain some militancy, or we can not act at this time. To increase life needs and RJO throughput drops and militancy. So I guess... No, we don't want to remove beer halls. Certainly not a nice. Changing fashions. Disaster has struck one of our luxury clothes factories where several shipments have been cancelled over the past few weeks. The reason for the cancellation seems to be that the clothes quite simply aren't selling all that well. And no wonder the cut is wrong and the buttons look almost clownishly large. Strange. They seemed so nice last season. We can still wear them though, right? Insist that government officials wear them or the designer's head on a plate. I think we're just going to say we'll take the hit monetarily. We don't want to lose any sort of prestige, and really, are you guys moving? No, you've just taken severe attrition losses. Nobody said the AI was genius. Are you guys going to wind up fleeing? You are, so we'll just go into Yola. And that'll still give us a connection into Joss, where I think those guys are headed. And we should be able to take Joss well before they're able to take Los. More Jacobin rebels. But there's not much we can do about that. This is some poor play on my part. I should have left the military at home. But I didn't. So, you know, lesson learned. Now, let's see if Sokoto will accept a peace. Propose peace. They would accept. Proceed. Glorious. Look at that, guys. We're starting to really flex our muscles in Africa. And... no. Look at that. Although I guess as we get more technologies, our life rating will go up, theoretically. So perhaps we won't need... I don't know, all of this is still 30. So perhaps, you know, we're not as close to colonizing around Lake Chad as we would like to be. But that's okay. Well, I'm looking at this, though. I have a feeling... we've got no immigrants in Hispaniola and really no immigrants in Honduras, unless you count the 4% of North Italians that are in there, which I don't. So we're going to remove that focus in Hispaniola, and there we're going to increase our clergymen in Tukari. I guess we had already been increasing in Biafra, so how about we also keep the immigrants coming to Hispaniola? And, yeah. Let's go watch the revolution that's taking place at home that there's nothing we can do about. Perhaps we can come to a diplomatic solution? I'm not sure if we could, though. Obviously not wanting to release any nations, I think we're kind of stuck until these guys either overthrow us or we're able to get the army home. The naval base is almost complete. So that's good. And then these ships will hopefully not take too long to repair. Good military leadership. That's excellent. Unfortunately, it's not doing much good. I guess we could take a look. The only thing is, like, with the army in Hispaniola or Honduras, there's not enough, right? So these Republican guards are just going to wind up taking Turin, and I guess, I mean, the crappy thing is, as far as I know, that's coming along nicely. If they were to overthrow the government, we'd have to, you know, get all of our spearlings set up. I don't know if we'd lose prestige. Like, it's not the end of the world, but it's not a good thing to have happen. I'd really like to be able to get my troops home sooner than later. So we'll see what a month of repair does to these ships. We're still nowhere near able to get them home, but it's about 10% per ship. So we're still looking at a long time before we're able to get them back. Oh, look at this. We've got Sidney Webb developed socialist ideas while at university, and in 1885 he joined the Fabian Society. We're a couple of years early, but that's okay. The society believed that capitalism had created an unjust and inefficient society. The members agreed that the ultimate aim of the group should be to reconstruct society in accordance with the highest moral possibilities. So that gives us a little extra prestige, and we got Karl Marx. Was originally a disciple of Hegel, but evolved his idealistic philosophy. Probably should have his own idealistic philosophy. Later in Paris, he began mixing with members of the working class for the first time. Marx was shocked by their poverty, but impressed by their sense of comradeship. In an article that he wrote for the Franco-German Annals, Marx applied Hegel's dialectic theory to what he observed in Paris. So we got a little bit of a social reform desire increase, and other things. Seriously, man. I gave you guys access for a reason. Not to just hang around in Florence and Modena, chilling out max and relaxing out cool. I want you guys to fight those rebels that I can't fight. The Old Man and the Sea. We'll lose militancy. We don't really need food. We just need militancy. We have a lot of unemployed craftsmen. Is this because nobody wants to work? I'm not sure. You guys should probably find work. Although I guess with it being under control of rebels, there might be some problems there. So we can get that going. I don't think our life rating will increase just by getting breech-loading rifles. Indeed, it doesn't. We need those special fancy techs. So hopefully we get those soon enough. Not quite ready to set sail for home. Well, taking a look at it, we certainly can build quite an army in Africa. Basically, we can get a good African army, which is good, because then they can do the fighting while we send the main forces home. But it doesn't really help us with anything right now. So let's see. We're almost September. We should be up into the 40s. We could probably push it. Ooh, home riflesmiths. I think we have to push it. Get on the boats, and let's hope you guys get home quick. We'll get you to Genoa, and then we can start stomping rebels. In the meantime, let's set up a rally point in Calabar and start building a colonial army in Africa. So we'll do that, and we'll grab one light artillery just to help out. It's not going to be an ideal army setup, and quite frankly, it's going to be a while before we can get an ideal army setup, but we can at least get started. What do we got here? Parma! You're not forgotten, man. Don't worry. Increase your opinion. And they are starting to come around to us, which is good. They don't, I mean, obviously, you know, we've got some bad blood between us, but that's okay. Ah, crap. Cheering crowds in turn are celebrating the toppling of the old Piedmontian government, now replaced by a new and liberal order dedicated to political reform within all levels of the Piedmontian government. Despite their recent ascent to power, they have already begun to institute changes in Sardinia-Piedmont that are being felt here and abroad. Boo! Alright, so let's see. Obviously, some reformist parties will take charge. We've got weighted universal, based on population. For the upper house, meetings are allowed, free press, non-socialist things, gerrymandering, non-secret ballots, and secret ballots. I guess I had to do one before the other. Lord Admiral will be removed, national confusion until 1858, giving us a loss of research, prestige, and all that other stuff. And as you can see, we shouldn't be a great power anymore because we're ranked 9th. So that sucks. But, yeah, so we got a year to turn things around. The best way to turn things around, although we still have a ton of infamy. We've got a new world order here, guys. We shouldn't have this much infamy. And we're losing ridiculous amounts of cash. Why? This is one thing I guess, well, yeah, we had taxes a lot higher, so now we're kind of screwed. Like, how am I going to save 750 pounds out of my budget? We're spending 500 there. I mean, like, so if we drop this down to 50, right, and then we're going to have to drop this down. We're going to have to drop all of this down to like nothing, and then what, cut education completely? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, well, we'll try and ride this out, because I mean, at least we do have a lot in the bank, so we've got that going for us. But man, oh man, our nation is not good. Cement production, wonderful. That's lovely. Exactly what we needed. Increased cement production. How's the fleet doing? Hanging in there. We're starting to take attrition now, though, but it's only 1% because we haven't been at sea that long. So that's okay. Our colonies are still doing all right. Looks like it. Yeah, you're not really doing great. Blame the Revolutionaries. Could we, like, maybe call an election? Because if we take a look at our population, right, like, we've got a liberal party running things, but most people are conservative. So let's just hold an election. See if we can't fix some things. And did all these reset? No, they're still friendly. Okay. Whew. Well, that's good. 2 Sicilies. Increase your opinion of us. Thank you. And really, if we increase our sphere of influence, we should be able to recover some of our prestige, I'm hoping. I don't know, we'll see. A debate has flared up in the local Piedmontian election about whether the state should interfere or not in the local economy. Most of our people like state capitalism, so naturally they're right. First minister appointed is an old admiral. Sounds like the previous first minister, pre-revolution. We got our fleet just making it home. Perfect. Violent elections. As the Piedmontine election begins, there is a general sense that things are not going to proceed smoothly. A sense of change is in the air, and while not everyone wants that change, it seems there are many who have leapt upon the election as a chance to make it happen. A recent riot in Turin was only barely kept under control, and debates elsewhere in Sardinia and Piedmont are threatening to erupt into further violence, as neither side is willing to budge. It's unfortunate we didn't need to take a prestige hit, but it makes sense, really. A fire at an explosive warehouse has caused a massive blast that some say could be heard all the way to Turin. The devastation is massive and hundreds of lives in the vicinity are reported lost. As the fire spreads through the city, the fire department needs to prioritize. The fire threatens to spread to affluent neighborhoods as well as poorer areas. Make no distinction. I mean, it's going to piss everybody off, but at least that evens it out. And I should be playing my cards smartly here and picking things that the people don't want, so people pick a different party. When is this election going to end? July. Is not leaving a lot of time. Our nation, our markets, our goods. What do we want? Yeah, most people want protectionism, so we'll support protectionism. And then that should piss people off. I think that's the way it works. Regardless, we're going to let that debate take its own course. Trouble in Savoy. A recent riot in Chambray has brought a great deal of attention to Savoy. People are rioting everywhere. There's riots in the streets. People are not happy with this little revolution. We've got closed down factories that I can do nothing about, because we're not a state capitalist government. So people are out of work. They're angry. Nobody really wanted the revolution to happen except for militant idiots who nobody really agreed with. But they took over because I was an idiot. A demonstration by Central American citizens in Puerto Lempira quickly got out of hand. Let the world think what it likes. No, suppress this. Soldiers need better food. How bad is this? Is really bad. Really, really bad. Really, really not good. Why are we expanding the clothing factory? We don't have people to work in it. Let the debate take its course. Probably they'll wind up going free trade. When is that, July? We got a little bit of time. I'm going to let this episode go to the election, so we can probably take it up to speed 4. Full citizenship, because this is a liberal party. That is what they believe in, but I hope the people don't want it. Justice demands a retrial. I realize that does make soldiers angry, but, you know, it's a give and take. You can't give the military everything and let them, you know, just do their own thing. Local markets must be shielded. It's strange for a liberal government to say that, but we don't really have much of a choice. We're getting close. It's the 2nd of July, so we're, you know, less than a month away. They have no right to demand. We could just give mixed signals here, right? Like, limited citizenship is the one that is popular. We'll do everything we can. That'll anger people with residency, although there wasn't really anybody who supported that. That was perhaps a misclick on my part. What did we get? Moderati. Okay, so we can get this sorted back out at least. Up to 69%. Up to 69%. Up to 69%. We can then... well, we can get our army up. I guess we'll leave defense spending where it was. But we can at least get the maintenance on our military back up and still make a little bit of money. We can reopen this factory and subsidize it just so people can work and not get too angry. Although I don't know why they weren't going into the gunpowder factory, to be perfectly honest. But there we go, our economy's coming back around, which is, you know, step one to having... Why? Open, subsidize. Step one to getting our nation back and functioning. I think that's where we're going to have to leave the video for today. I'm not feeling really good about the way things have gone. I'm alright with the increased territory and the African army that we're building. But, and have we got that even started? Not really. It's taking time, but we'll get there. Apparently they need timber, and, you know, that's a difficult resource to get a hold of. Anyway, we're going to leave it here for today. So thumbs up if you have enjoyed this episode. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.